Okay, this is a minimum value of a function on a closed interval, so closed interval method. Let's write this down. So I'm going to write the derivative down. Relatively simple. It's going to be cosine of x. Let's see, that's going to be minus 2 sine x cosine x. I'm going to factor that, and that's going to give me, let's see, cosine of x times 1 minus 2 sine of x. Now what's nice about this is I got an interval between 0 and 2 pi, and I'm going to write down the numbers that I'm looking for in a closed interval. I'm certainly looking at the beginning. I'm looking at, we got 0. That's one place I want to evaluate this at. And the other place I want to evaluate is at 2 pi. But I also want to find out where the critical numbers on that interval. And let's just look at the cosine first. When does the cosine become 0? Well, at pi over 2. Write this down for you. At pi over 2. And where else does it become 0? At 3 pi over 2. Okay. This one's a little more difficult. And I want to write this down for you. This means the sine of x is equal to 1/2. Now, when does the sine become 1/2? Well, think about the reference angle. That would be a 30-degree angle. And it's only going to happen in the first or second quadrants. It's going to be 30 or 150. All right? By the way, I think I'm going to just talk about degrees now. And to do that, it'll make it a little simpler for the evaluation. This is 90 degrees. This is 270 degrees. This is 360 degrees. I will write radian down too, though. This is 0 degrees. So I got the radian measure for those down there. I got 30 degrees. Make this over here. What's that going to be? Pi over 6. And I got x equals 150 degrees, which is going to be what? Well, it's going to be 5 pi over 6. Before I move forward, I want to point out, when you're studying, you probably should be looking at the key to make sure we have these numbers, right? We have the number 0. We have the number pi over 6. We have the number pi over 2. We have the number 5 pi over 6. We have the number 3 pi over 2. And we have the number 2 pi, all right? What's the problem now? Again, for a lot of students, the problem is, it's tedious work for them. It's, they're wondering what they have to do. And what I have to do is I go to evaluate the function at those values to find out the minimum and maximum values on the interval. So I'm going to make an erasure now. I'm kind of done with the derivative. Before I do that, though, I want to make sure the derivative is written down over here for you, including the factored form of it. All right? That stuff's all done. I'm not going to erase my, my numbers, though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start to evaluate the function now, right, at the values that I want to come up with, all right? That's the minimum and maximum values. So I'll kind of write them down. An f of 0, that's relatively simple to do, by the way. It's just going to give you 1. Right, let me go to the next number, which is going to be the pi over 6, which is 30 degrees. Let's write that down. The sine of 30 degrees is 1/2. And the cosine of 30 degrees is root 3 over 2. And when you square that, you get 3/4. Let me evaluate that. That's 4. And you're going to get 2 plus 2, which is 5/4. All right? Let's keep going. And the next thing I'll do is, I guess we did the 0. We did the pi over 6. And now I'm going to go to the 90. All right? F of 90. What does that give me? Well, that gives me 1. All right? I got more to do. And now I'm going to go to the 150, F of 150. 150 degrees, by the way. Well, the sine of 150 is 1/2. The cosine of 150 is minus root 3 over 4. And when we square that, I get plus 3/4. Boy, that's deja vu all over again. I get 5/4. All right? So we just did that. Now we're going to do the 270. F of 270. What's f of 270? Well, let's take a look. The sine of 270 degrees is minus 1, and the cosine is 0. And then we're going to do f of 300. I'm sorry, not 300, 360. Sorry about that. What's that going to be? Well, sine is 0, cosine is 1, and 1 squared is 1. All right? So what do I know? I know there's a minimum, right? The minimum value is -1. This is the minimum. The minimum value is -1. And where did it occur? At 270 degrees or 3 pi over 2. Now certainly someone says, what's the maximum over here? The maximums are these things over here, 5/4, and occurs in 2 different places, by the way. And where those places, it's 5/4 is the maximum value, and it occurred at, well, let's take a look at it, at 30 degrees, and that's pi over 6, and it occurred at 150 degrees, which is 5 pi over 6. And that covers that story. Thank you.